So, hello and welcome back to Healthy Spouse, Healthy House. My name is Tony, and my channel focuses on health, wellness, and relationships. And again, guys, you're back for part 3 of my mental and emotional health story time. I wanted to make sure I get the whole story out. So again, come on. Okay, you took a break. I guess that was intermission. So now you're back. Uh, Grab something to drink, grab something to eat, a snack or something like that, and join me back on my couch for the rest of this story. So we in my last video, we stopped with the fact that I had an anxiety attack at work during one of my pumping sessions. Um, and I had talked about how there was so much stress surrounding me stepping away from my post as an assistant teacher to then go ahead and pump milk for my baby. I had to secure people to take care of the children that I was taking care of at the time at work. I had to, we had to figure out where I was going to pump. So I had to figure that out um, along with my superiors. And then I had people who were they were outwardly and expressively unhappy with the fact that I was even doing that. Uh, and when I say doing that, I mean pumping milk or having to leave my post and me having to give my responsibilities to them so that I can do something that I chose to do. And so anyway, there was a lot of stress and anxiety, and there's no wonder that I had an anxiety attack during one of my pumping sessions. And so I had this anxiety attack. I didn't know what it was. I just felt my heart pumping, feeling like it was going to jump out of my chest. And then I felt a headache, and I felt short of breath. I felt tension in my neck and in my shoulders. I was just feeling all of these things, and I thought that I was, if anything, that I was having a heart attack. And so I remember asking for help. I said, something's wrong with me. And, so I think the nurse at the school, she then called called 911. They came and I was triaged on the ambulance, and one of the EMTs, he looked at me and he gave me a once over. He said, I think I know what's going on with you. So he led me in some breathing exercises, and before long, y'all, my my vitals were pretty even, and they had mellowed out, and he said, well, how are you feeling now? I said, I feel better. And he said, okay. And then he told me, he said, my wife has anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and I think that maybe is what you're going through. I think you're okay because you're calm. He said, but if you want to go to the hospital, I'll take you. And I was like, I said, can you take me to the hospital? And he's like, yes. So so I was like, and the reason why I chose to do that is because I wasn't quite sold on the fact that what I had felt was just something that was connected to my mental and emotional health, if you get what I'm saying. I thought that something was physically wrong with me and I needed to get checked out by a doctor at the hospital. And plus I felt so much shame because I was like, I felt so much shame, and I didn't want to go back in my job because I was like, if it was something that was just a mental and emotional situation, then I'm afraid of what they're gonna say to me. I didn't want to face that, and so I went to the hospital. Long story short, the doctor told me, she examined me, And one of the things that she told me was, she said, okay, I'm going to give you some time off because you need to rest and you need to take care of yourself. And she said, then you're going to follow up with your primary care physician, and you guys are going to come up with a plan so that you can see someone and talk to them, because I really do believe you need to talk to someone, and you need to see a mental health professional. And I was just like, I ain't crazy. And she was just like, well, she said, well, and there's that stigma, because I was like, I ain't crazy. That doesn't mean that you're crazy if you have to go and see a mental health professional. So that's what I did. I took that time off, and I went to go see my primary care physician, who we then set up appointments for me to go see a mental health professional. And so that began my journey for my mental health and wellness. And one of the reasons why I was just like, I needed help, because when I took that week off, y'all, when I took that week off, that was where like a lot of the work began, if I can say that. Because then I was at home with my thoughts, with all of my thoughts swimming around. I was not at work keeping myself busy, none of that. So all of these thoughts of inadequacy, my all being overwhelmed, all of these thoughts, and thinking that I can't rise to the challenge. All of those things were thoughts that I was thinking. I felt like I was broken, and I felt so sorry for my husband, because I was like, he has a broken wife. And I felt so sorry for my kids, because I said they have a broken mom. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like I'm broken and I can't be fixed. Those were the thoughts that were going on in my head. And I would say my family, man, they'll probably do way better without me. When I tell you, there are certain thoughts that I had in my head that I can't even say out of my mouth because of how bad they were, if you get what I'm saying. And so that's when I started dealing with a whole bunch of things, because then I didn't have work to go to. So I had to begin that work, and I began to pray, y'all, and pray and ask God, what's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Like, you know, and I was like, okay, I had just a little twinge of hope, just a little bit. And I was like, I said, okay, I want to get better. I would look at my children, y'all. I would look at their faces, see their smiles, see their beautiful, bright eyes. And that gave me a lot of strength to want to get better. I remember looking at my baby, and my husband nicknamed my third child Smiley, because this baby would smile constantly, and I would just get so much I don't know, like the feelings that I would get when she would smile, and not, you know, and when my other two children would just come to me and just say things to me, and I would just see them, and just the strength that I would get from that, and the strength that I would get even from my husband. Because y'all, just think, if I'm going through all this stuff, who am I taking it out on? Who am I taking it out? I was taking it out on him, y'all. And God bless my husband. I mean, he had the patience, he had the strength, still do, to help me, even though I was not the best person to him during this time. And so as I was getting help for me, that meant that I was getting help for them too, because I was getting better. And that started my mental health journey, because I actually reached out. I actually said that I needed help. And not only that, I reached out to God, and God started helping me in ways that I can't even explain to you. Y'all, I seriously don't have all the words. But people would come out, there were people who would call me, make sure I was okay, people who knew what was going on. And, during this time, we decided that I was going to stay home from work, and that which was a whole thing for me too, but that's what we decided. And so we made some very important decisions during that time, but all of those decisions was to support our whole household, to support our family, to support our health and everything. So guys, I just thank you for for taking this time with me, for joining me on my couch and just sitting with me and having this conversation. And I just ask that you just join me for the next video, which will be about spiritual health, guys. You already know that I believe that there are 15 different areas of health, and each week I introduce, define, and discuss, and we make plans and goals in each of those areas. All right now, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye. God bless you. Bye.